Hello and welcome to the next video of my ADE Hall of Famer series where we're going over the Hall of Famers in our Discord. I have a community on Discord. Link is in the description. We do a lot of interactive things on there. This is one of them where we are deciding Hall of Fame for LOL Esports. xPeke is the last one of the first class of 6. There is intentions of doing 12 classes. And then the 13th will be after the season's over, and then only one a year after that, one a season. The eligibility rules are that somebody has to be retired for 2 years to be up on the ballot. Not to mention, I decide the 60 players on the ballot, that then drops to 15, and then 6. So that's the deal. If you want to participate, join the Discord. If you disagree with an opinion, join the Discord and participate so you can write that disagreement instead of just spewing into the void and typing and I mean wasting your time, wasting my time, So xPeke had 174 Hall of Fame points over his career, played multiple roles, actually 3 roles, well technically 4. He played all but jungle in his career. His 3 most played champions though are mid laners. Mid lane is where he made his hay. He has the 9th most Ari games played all time. Orianna 33rd, Twisted Fate 14th. Those are his 3 most played. Ari, Orianna, Twisted Fate. He played from 2011 through 2017. So an OG. Win rate wise, his Zed was an 83% win rate, which is first all time in mid. LeBlanc 82% is third. In Nidalee mid 75% is first. So very good on those 3 champions. Nidalee mid obviously being a thing in yesteryear. Hard to imagine now. KDA, his Nidalee had a 568, which ranked second. Gragas was 478, which was second. And then LeBlanc is his 3rd best champion KDA-wise, which ranked 24th all-time. So, very good. Nidalee mid, Gragas mid, and then a solid LeBlanc in his career. Like I said, played many different roles, so that accounts for not many of his games. Honestly, I forgot to put up the percentage of how many games that accounted for. So he started his career at 19 years old in 2011. Not a lot of stats back then that were organized. So the only stats really we can look at are from Worlds. He had 64.9 Hall of Fame points that year, as he would win the inaugural Worlds. The only time a Western team has won that event. 8 games played, 372 KDA, 608 CS per minute. He played a bit of top and a bit of mid that split, that season for Fnatic. Fnatic is definitely the team he is most known for. He is now the owner of Astralis. In 2012, xPeke would struggle. At 20 years old in spring, in Champions Spring, he'd play 5 games with a 288 KDA, 72.1 KP. In 2012 summer, he would play in a European League. In 5 games, he had a 322 KDA, 673 CS per minute. In the playoffs, he would struggle. In 7 games, a 236 KDA, 719 CS per minute. So the 2012 was not great for xPeke, wasn't great for Fnatic, as they weren't able to get to an international event to defend their title. He would be able to go the next couple years, though, with Fnatic. In 2013, he'd have over 45.5 Hall of Fame points. In 2013 spring, I believe this is the inaugural EU LCS split, he had a 337 KDA in 28 games, 802 CS per minute, which was second amongst mids, 66.4 KP, 23.8% of the team's gold. He was the carry for Fnatic in his prime, which not many mids can say. In the playoffs, he played 8 games, doing better than he did in 2012. He had a 3.3 KDA, 842 CS per minute, 66.4 KP, 25% of the team's gold. So his CS went up nearly a half a CS a minute, which is a ton, especially in higher stakes. A very good showing in the playoffs after 2012 summer, not really living up to snuff. 2013 summer, in 30 games, he had the second best KDA with in mid lane, 419. An 8.2 CS per minute ranked third, 73.6 KP ranked second. In the playoffs, in 6 games, the team would be successful, earning a world slot. He put up a 5.93 KDA and a 9.53 CS per minute. That's a carry. He is the carry for Fnatic at this point in his career. 73.5 KP, 26.7% of the team's gold. You are not going to see mid laners with that high of a gold share, I don't think, ever again, frankly, with the way the game is now. Of course, this is 10 years ago. At Worlds, in 15 games, Fnatic went on a run but could not come out victorious. xPeke had a 6.22 KDA, which was second at the tournament. 7.9 CS per minute, so dropped off quite a bit, and we see that in this year's Worlds in 2013, and then even the next year, he didn't match up quite as well as he did domestically, which makes sense. 67.3 KP. In 2014, xPeke would put up almost 19 Hall of Fame points. In 28 games in EU LCS, he had a 3.41 KDA, 8.46 CS per minute, that was second. 69.6 KP, that was third. 697 damage per minute, that was first. 32.8% of the team's damage in mid. By today's standards, that's absolutely insane, but at the standards of the time, it wasn't even top 3 in EU. 23.2 gold share was second. He had 14 solo kills in 28 games. In the playoffs, his numbers would be consistent with what they were in the regular season. 407 KDA, so I guess quite a bit better actually. 8.43 CS per minute, 68.7 KP. 614 damage per minute, so the DPM dropped by over 80, but the share stayed the same at 32.8. Gold share 22.6, 2 solo kills. In summer, he would continue to be elite in the regular season. In 28 games, he had a 5.33 KDA, which was second. 9.06 CS per minute, which was second. 68.7 KP was third. 713 damage per minute was first. 35.3% of Fnatic's damage, which was second. 23.4% of the team's gold, which was first. 12 solo kills, that was third. So he was top 3 in every statistical category in 2014 summer as he dominated the mid lane. True blue, just absolutely spectacular. In the playoffs, he would not do as well, but they would earn an opportunity to go to Worlds, like I said. In 9 games, he had a 2.21 KDA, which was less than half of what it was in the split. 8.77 CS per minute, which is better than what it was the last time he was in the playoffs, but only 59.8% KP, so not as involved. Below 3 out of every 5 kills versus what it was for the last few splits for him, around 67 or higher. 670 damage per minute, 35.4% of the team's damage, so despite not being involved in a lot of kills, when he was dealing damage, he was dealing more than he had been in the previous playoff series. 23.8% gold share, that was the highest he'd have in 2014 during the playoff run with 4 solo kills. At Worlds, they would be out after 6 games played. His numbers not as strong as they were in 2013. He had a 2.45 KDA, so he died quite a bit below 8 CS per minute, 63.6 KP. However, he did deal a lot of damage relative to the other mid laners at the event. 573 DPM was second. 33.3% of damage was second. 23.4% of gold share, and he almost had a solo kill per game. So, was he good in dealing damage, being aggressive, making things happen? Yes, but that did also cost him a lot in the KDA department. it cost him a bit in the CS department. But, I mean, if you really look at the first 4 years of his career, Worlds, a really good run in 2013, and was respectable in 2014 internationally and elite domestically. A very good player, worthy of being the first Western player in the Hall of Fame on the Discord. But this is all I believe. We're about to go to the second half of his career. I'm pretty sure this is like all of his Fnatic time. And in 2015, he would swap over to Origin, and that is who we will go over next. Yeah, so the next 3 years of his career were with Origin. He would not play in 2015 spring in the highest level of play. He was stuck in Challenger with Origin. So those stats are irrelevant because they don't count towards the Hall of Fame for me. Your Academy, ERL stats, stuff like that aren't included. But he still was able to put up almost 30 and a half Hall of Fame points because his 2015 summer and international play was up to snuff. He did very well in his first split with Origin in the EU LCS. In 18 games, his 5.6 KDA was second, 8.9 CS per minute, 65.5 KP, 687 DPM, 24% of the team's gold, ranked third. So a very good showing for him in 2015 summer. In 9 games in the playoffs, there would be some struggles. 2.3 KDA, so died a lot. 8.5 CS per minute, 50.6 KP, 498 damage per minute. So dropped almost 200 DPM. That is a ton. 22.1% of the team's gold. In 8 games in 2015 summer, in 8 games in 2015 summer's regional qualifiers to earn the right to go to Worlds once again, he had a 3.3 KDA, 9.2 CS per minute, 60.2 KP. So versus playoffs versus regional qualifiers, his KDA went up a full point, 0.7 CS per minute, 10% KP, 562 DPM, so 65 DPM, 64 DPM more, 22.9 gold share, so almost a full point of gold as well. So definitely took on more of a secondary carry role in regional qualifiers. At Worlds 2015, in 13 games, he would die a lot, so very similar to what we saw in 2014. Sorry, not 2014, maybe 2013. 2.3 KDA, but a 9.5 CS per minute. That was second for mids at the tournament. 51.9 KP, which is the lowest he had in his career at any point, so very solo oriented. 52% is super, super, super low. That is a top laner type of KP. 467 DPM accounted for 26% of the team's damage. He had 23.8% gold share and 2 solo kills in those 13 games. So took on that carry role we saw with Fnatic prior, at nearly 24% of the team's gold. Like, that is a carry. It makes sense. All that farm results in all that gold. Not with a lot of kills, though, so his DPM dropping almost 100 from regional qualifiers is unfortunate. In 2016 spring, he would take on a different role and barely play. So he had 12.11 Hall of Fame points, but in 2016 spring, in 3 games, he would play AD carry. Had a 3.1 KDA, 9.3 CS per minute, 66.1 KP, 729 DPM, 32.1% of the team's damage, 22.4% gold share, and 1 solo kill. So taking on a different role, barely playing. We've seen this with a couple players already that later in their career, they faced some pressure and got phased out. A little too early, I'd say, because xPeke had went to Worlds 4 out of 5 years and done very well at the event. So for him to be moved around is unfortunate. He played 2 games in the playoffs with a 3 KDA, 8.2 CS per minute, 80.9 KP, 402 damage per minute, 19.8% of the team's damage. I think he was mid laner again at this point. 21.7% of the team's gold, so very unlike xPeke. We're talking about a guy that at Worlds had 26% of the team's damage, now down below 20%. Went from 52 kp to 81 kp. So that's very different. That went from I'm on an island, I'm doing my own thing, to I am more active than the jungler and support when it comes to getting involved. In summer 2016, very mixed results. So, was it the right call to phase him out? If you look at 2016 summer, probably. In 27 games, he had a 1.8 KDA. That's very bad. 88 CS per minute was first. 59.4 KP. So went back to his old ways that we saw at Worlds, where it was even actually, to some degree, 2015 summer even, that he was around, 60% KP. 566 damage per minute. 28% of the team's damage was third in the role relative to the region. 22.5 gold share and only 1 solo kill. So not quite as aggressive in the solo kill department. And that was the last split he would play in mid lane. In 2017, he would role swap. Oh, sorry. Maybe I screwed up here. I think I did. 2016 spring, he might have still been mid lane. 2017 spring, he, I think, role swapped to AD carry because these stats are very similar to those ones. And these are promo stats. So trying to get Origin back into the LCS or EU LCS, now known as LEC. He had a 3.4 KDA, 9.3 CS per minute, 76.3 KP, so 3 out of every 4 kills. 589 damage per minute, which ranked almost, which accounted for almost 28% of OG's damage, 23.1% of the team's gold. After being locked into the EU LCS, he would role swap to support. Those stats, very limited. In 16 games, he had a 1.6 KDA, so it didn't look that great for him. 63.7 KP, ranked third, 197 damage per minute. 2017 summer, it would not get better for xPeke as he went out with a whisper. 6 games, 1.6 KDA again, 75.7 KP, 177 damage per minute. So we're looking at a player that went to Worlds 4 out of 5 years, won a championship, but in 2016, 2017, was kind of put all over the place, right? 2016 spring barely played, only played 5 games. Summer, he struggled, but did have the chance to prove himself once more at 24 years old. And then at 2017 spring, he got moved to AD carry, then played support, and then in 2017 summer was out of it. So, you look at that 4 out of 5 years where he probably, if not one of the best, he probably was the best Western player based on these stats. He was excellent. A lot of people probably think, oh, this player or that player should be in above him. I think that there's a case to be made, but he is a champion, right? You can't take that away from him. You can't pretend that didn't happen. I know it was a different game back then, but he did win, and he also did look solid at the event multiple times after that, kind of putting him not even world class, but above that. Like I always say, world class is a player that doesn't look out of place at Worlds. Not only did he not look out of place at Worlds, he was a part of the event. He was a mainstay there. There was an expectation that he would be there. So a very good player, had a very solid career, and is respected by many. So thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, like it, subscribe to the channel for daily League of Legends content. Follow me on Twitter, join the Discord, become a YouTube supporter, and I hope to see you again tomorrow.